I'm so excited to talk to you. Congrats.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
It is so great to be with you guys today, celebrating such an exciting time in your life. Katie, I'll start with you. How did you know and when did you know that Blake was the one?
You know, it was really the night of the overnight dates when we expressed that we loved each other. But not only that, you get to spend so much quality time off camera. And that's really where you do your bonding in terms of talking about a lot of things you didn't get a chance to. You're uninterrupted, it's private. And it just really solidified our relationship. And in that moment, I was like, this is my guy.
That's amazing. And Blake, for you, we know you came in a little late to the game. So what was different about Katie and what made you, decide to throw yourself back into this crazy world?
It was seeing how much that we aligned in our openness and how confident we were and decisive, and there's some maturity. I was a lot like that on the season I was on prior, and I recognized a lot of the same things with Katie when I was watching her on Matt James's season. And I think a lot of Bachelor fans also saw that we potentially would be great together. And I just felt like I had to pull the trigger and see if this could actually be what I think it could. And right off the bat, it was, and it just continued to be that way and get stronger and stronger every day now.
In that moment, Katie, you knew he was the only guy left, but were you nervous, wondering whether or not he'd actually propose?
Yeah, I mean, the second he walked up to me, the first thing I did was look at his pants for a ring box, and there wasn't anything noticeable in the front. So I was like, all right, I'm okay. I'm ready to walk away with him. That's fine. And so when he did actually propose, I was actually shocked based on his all over the place speech that kind of tricked me for a minute.
That is so funny. It's like one of those stressful moments where you just have no idea what's going on, I'm sure. I want to ask you guys, I'm sure everyone's asking this, but what's next for you? Are we going to see some wedding planning? Are you moving in together? What's next?
I mean, immediately we're headed to Canada next. And I think that's kind of the trend that we're going to go with for now is, he has roots in Canada. I'm moving to San Diego. So we'll just spend chunks of time kind of hopping around a little bit before we decide where we want to initially, figure out where we're staying long-term.
Yeah, I think it's just important to get a feel for everything, right? And seeing where I kind of came from, seeing what she wants. And I know I have passions that I want her to see, and I'm sure she has the same. So at that point, when we experience each other's lifestyles, then we can make a decision of what works best for us.
Got it. And we know that with this show and lots of reality shows, the couples unfortunately don't always make it. But what's different about you two?
I mean, I can't speak for how other couples went through watching the season, but I know all I did was stay very open with Blake on every single episode, every single relationship, everything I said. I didn't hide anything. And I think that's what you have to approach everything with honesty. So he was already prepared going into it. We would discuss it if there were things that made him uncomfortable, but he was just very understanding of, what we both signed up for, which is I am dating multiple men. He's going to see those relationships play out. I don't know, we just stayed strong through it all.
Mm-hmm.
And you two were obviously very honest with each other throughout the whole process. And there was a lot of drama, which of course we have to get into everything from last night's episode. So let's start with you, Blake. What was it like kind of watching it all go down from the sidelines last night?
So, obviously I knew how Katie felt about the situation. In the moment, she had prepared me for a lot of things and how she thought it was going to look based on what she remembered in that moment with Greg. But I think after she had the opportunity to watch it back, her mind kind of changed a little bit, and she didn't like what she saw, as the same went for me. And so, I knew that she was going to handle it. And that's one thing I love about her. She handles her things. And she was able to speak her mind and get out what she wanted to, and speak up for women too, in terms of how they should be treated, and even in those tough emotional situations. And so I was proud of her and how she got out what she wanted to.
I love that. And for you, Katie, a lot of fans were thinking, okay, you're happily engaged now. We see how happy you and Blake are together, but tell the fans at home, why was that important for you to really speak your mind and let Greg know how you were feeling in all of this?
I mean, that's really what After the Final Rose is for. It's to say your final piece and move on with your closure. And, I hadn't seen Greg since that breakup. And in that moment of the breakup, I was very sad and confused, and I felt, a certain way. And then watching it back, I had some opinions, as everyone saw. And so it was just an opportunity for both Greg and I to speak our our minds and officially close that door and just move forward. So I can be very happy and in love with my relationship and still want to speak to the person who I feel mistreated me and kind of say my final words to him.
Absolutely. And Blake, did it bring you comfort kind of hearing Katie, address the situation? And she even said, like, when Greg left, so did her feelings, like she's closed that door.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely didn't need that to watch that after the final rose. We had cleared everything up way prior. And so it was, I guess, just the cherry on top to like have it completely ended, where we knew there was nothing else coming with this unless we made something of it. And so now it's a thing of the past, and that's all we want.
And Katie, you posted on your Instagram about the whole situation, and you basically just said, regardless of where you stand and all this, people are taking their sides. Like, you just want people to learn and grow and understand. What do you hope that people take away from watching that whole situation?
It was amazing because, that was actually pre-recorded, mine and Greg's interaction. And so Bachelor Nation hadn't watched that episode. And the week after that episode, so much conversation had started. And I didn't realize just how big this topic was. And so it's not even about sides at this point. It's just about learning and understanding about resources, recognizing when you can benefit from therapy, or recognizing when maybe you're in an unhealthy relationship, or how to better communicate. No matter what side you're on, we are having these discussions. And I think that's what's the bigger picture that everyone needs to take away is, we're all learning and growing.
Yeah, I think the one thing, if I add to that, the one thing is I think that people get caught up in is like Team Greg, Team Katie, like let's remove the people to remove the bias and look at the situation for what it is without the actual people involved, right? I think you can get a better look and really analyze it better without going into it being already on a side.
Totally. And I also have to ask you, Blake, because another contestant, Michael A., has been very vocal about his feelings for Katie, his lingering feelings. Some fans have seen him comment some interesting thing on her photos. We know the interest is still there. How does that make you feel watching this all go down on Instagram?
I mean, I chuckle at it. Listen, I what I can chalk it up to is just assuming he was hoping or thinking that she was potentially single, and we'll leave it at that. Otherwise, it's kind of a shady move. So let's just assume that he didn't think that she was with anybody.
I mean, who can blame him? Look at Katie. She's fabulous. So I want to ask you guys, is your relationship stronger now that you've gone through all these hardships? Do you feel like you've come out the other side?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we are completely different people from the day he proposed to now. And even in how we communicate, that I remember the first time we ever had our first FaceTime, it was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. But now it's just so natural and it feels like a normal relationship, whereas in the beginning it was like, we're engaged, but I just met you and we have some things to talk about. And I mean, these past 3 months have just been, huge for our relationship and our growth.
I love that. And we want to end on a fun note. So we're going to do a quick little game of couples uncensored, just like a little rapid fire, have fun with it. We got to have some fun. Okay. So let's start with your first impressions of each other. And this could be even before the show.
Oh, I mean, all I know is I was tagged in a lot of things with him when my season was airing. And so I was like, why do people keep thinking we're a lot alike? And so that was truly my first impression, was like, who is this guy and why do people keep tagging me in these memes of us?
Yeah, for me, it was like, she's funny and raw and open. And that's what like drew me to her the most. She just, I think for being on the show, everyone tries to be perfect and she didn't try to do that. And that's what stood out to me.
The Instagram commenters knew they would bring you together.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about each other?
I love how Blake's just so calming. There's even this week, I've been really stressed about outfits and what to wear, and the way that he just really steps in to be like, okay, this outfit looks beautiful on you. Here's a link to this dress. Like, he's so supportive and he just helps keep me calm. And that's really what I want is, someone who can be my rock at a time when I am struggling. And he's just always been that, even through watching this whole season back. And I don't know, he's just so chill.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a great combination because she's very mature and nurturing, but there's also a side to her where our jokes align and we can be raunchy and raw, and I can say some outlandish things, and she just like will add to the joke, whereas other people like shake their heads. She just adds to it. So there's a great maturity level there, and nurturing and supportive, but we know how to have fun together. And I think that's really important when you have one life to live. Let's remove all the stress, and we do a great job of that.
And what are your nicknames for each other? Do you have them?
I call him Bear.
And I call her Buggy.
Interesting. Okay, we'll have to get the
Yeah.
story for that another time. Who is the biggest romantic in the relationship?
Like,
I feel like you are.
we disagree on this because we've been asked this before,
Yeah.
which I think is a good thing. We both, I think, put in the effort into our relationship and we were thoughtful in that.
Yeah.
Who's the first to say, I'm sorry?
You, I think.
I was like, me. We haven't had too many situations where we had to apologize. Like we just,
Yeah, I think the only time it's ever happened, I think, is when we've watched something back where she would say like, I'm sorry you had to see that. And
That's
aside
true.
from that, might be the only thing.
I'm sure it's coming, but yeah, we've been really good at just communicating.
It's coming, but we're off to a great start. Last one. What's like your biggest pet peeve about the other one?
He does forget to flush the toilet sometimes.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
What?
With the seats up and everything.
Okay, the seat might be a thing. I definitely flush. I just might not do the
I
whole
flushed the
seat
toilet
thing.
this week.
Okay, but like I have a thing like yellow, let it mellow. So maybe that's what that's about.
Oh gosh.
For you, pet peeve. I don't know. She's good. I mean, you don't bug me.
I'm kind of messy though. He's
Yeah,
way
true.
cleaner than I am. Like he makes the bed every morning. I am a slob. I'm just gonna say it.
Blake doesn't have anything, but Katie has one for herself. So we're covered. We're all
It
good.
works.
You guys, thank you so much. This was amazing. We are so happy for you. I wish you a lifetime of happiness and I can't wait to see what's next for you guys.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.